Welcome to the Mid-South Sports Report podcast, episode number 9. Guys, y'all believe we're 9 episodes in?
Pretty crazy.
That's pretty
It
good.
is pretty good. I like it. Having fun with it. Anything special going on between y'all two?
No.
Besides that ugly picture in the background of yours?
Which one?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to yours in a minute. Nothing new with me, just a career change for me. Loving life, man. Loving life. Let's put it that way. Big shout out Jerry Muffin Tires for jumping on board since the beginning. He's still on board with us. If you need tires in the Bowling Green, Kentucky area, go see him. Mufflers, tire rotations, brakes, anything, go hit him up. 209 Gordon Avenue, or call, set up appointment, 270-842-7753. Coming up on tonight, we're going to talk Matt's punishment. We're going to talk the heavy Derek Lancaster hit in the ARCA race. Joey Logano flipping. Whose fault was it? We're going to get down to it. We're going to lay it down. I'm sure out of us three, probably ain't going to agree on it, but we're going to give our input on it.
I don't think we were agreeing on it during the race.
No, we were having one hell of an argument right after it happened for about 10 minutes.
Our group chat was lighting up, was it?
But it was.
I didn't even remember to post the end of the stage results for fantasy.
We'll talk a little Colic Racing announcing they're going Cup racing, their day at Daytona or Talladega, not Daytona. Also got Christopher Slater scheduled to join us. He was covering a little bit of Bristol down there. So I want to ask him some questions because Matt, you chimed in the chat. Soonest way was, 142 miles per hour around Bristol is insane. That's average, correct?
That was average speed. We're talking
160
I can't remember,
probably down the straightaway.
I can't remember what the exact time was, but I believe it was about a 13.3 or a 13.4 lap time.
13.3, 13.4. So he's going to join. I want to get his take on it and stuff. He covers a lot of the Middle Tennessee area, so I want to get his take on a little bit of the races coming up. Nashville side, what he's got planned. So I want to ask him some things. Michael's going to give his take on Friday night rain out Batesville, but got to see some racing. We'll talk a little bit of weekend racing, regional series, what's coming up regional around the area, throwback scheme. So we're going to get into it. But first of all, we've got to talk about Matt's punishment. Matt, you was the low totem guy. Hey, you picked it. But you picked a good car. I mean, you picked a Penske car. I wouldn't really call it a good car. My bad. But either way.
I picked a good car, and it was the only car that ended up on its lid in the whole race.
So Matt
Michael and I
were going to be time.
Michael and I are going to be. That's right.
Yeah. Matt took his time to make me this photo showing me where Stenhouse wrecked Hamlin, right?
Which wrecked Logano. My pick.
Yeah. So we're going to pop up a video that Matt's got, and we're going to take back the photo he made. He's going to go through it, and then we're going to break it down. You ready?
So
shoot off.
We got the replay, right? So you can see right now, Hamlin's got a pretty good push on Logano, and
about a half a car.
Buscher's got a pretty good push on Stenhouse. So I'll play it through a little bit here, and you guys can see it.
The 22 by the 11. Watch the 47 get to the rear.
Now watch it here. Look at this stack up now all of a sudden. Basically, you got these 5 guys now are all slammed right together, right? Hamlin's got nowhere to go, yet Buscher's not touching the 47, But look, here's dumbass still pushing the crap out of Hamlin, which then
Bumper of the
knocks
11
him out
right
of
here.
line.
That's that sandwich we
Oh,
talked
there
about.
he goes.
And when Denny stepped,
And hooks him, spins him, and now we got a problem.
out, the 47 was still connected, and that little bit of contact is what turned
My
Denny
opinion
into the
on
22
this
of
wreck,
Logano.
100%
Right along.
Willie's pick.
This doesn't
With
even
Bubba.
seem real to me.
Stenhouse.
This is like a video game.
100% at fault in this
Real
wreck.
close. Look out.
Wow.
And
Ricochets off that rear
let's
window.
put it this way. How many
And
at-fault
very little
Stenhouse
damage
wrecks have
to
we
the
had on Super
23,
Speedways in
however.
the last however many
Just a
years?
little bit peeling up
Little
there on the
scratch.
roof. And
More
the
than
right
I can
windshield
count on
post.
one hand.
Well, we can blame it on Stenhouse all we want. Okay. But when it comes to plate racing, that spotter is your best friend. Okay. So, really? What's going on? Wait, all right. But it comes down to spotters. I've got the feature since Daytona, and I love the feature of, the spotter, the driver communication. It's great for the sport. If you don't have it, I think it's like, what is it, $5 a month? Matt, you got it, don't you?
Yeah, I got the spotter.
So it's like
check,
$5 a month. The best, that is honestly the best $5 you'll spend for a feature that if you like it. I don't like the guy, like I told y'all before. I don't like TJ Majors, but he is probably the best plate spotter out there by far. And I wish that I could go back and listen to Stenhouse's and his spotters communication. Because the way TJ does it and the way Brett Griffin does it is he lets everybody know, okay, you got half a car, you got a quarter car, you're there. Stenhouse should have been letting off when he was at a quarter car because before he got there, he was, guess what? He's not there. So, like I said, I'm not blaming Stenhouse because that relies on the spotter. He don't know what's in front of him. He don't know how much room is in front of Hamlin.
It still boils down to the guy that's holding the steering wheel. And Michael and I guarantee both agree we ain't putting the blame in the spotter's hands on this one because, listen, if it was like the first or second time that this might have happened with Stenhouse, okay, you know what? It's whatever. But come on, we're like up to like 100 wrecks that Stenhouse has caused over on Super Speedway Racing.
100% agree with you that he got that name Wreck House is because for a reason. I totally get it.
Well, I've seen where he's raced at, and there's a reason why he races like that.
Yeah, I understand. I get it. I do get it.
So that's where now we can explain how this group chat went because, as I'm sure everybody can figure out, I was fired up.
Yeah,
because it was like Wreck House, who both Michael and I thought when Willie picked him that he must have been having something real good to drink that night, goes and takes out my guy, who's now going to finish 39th because, well, Larson's crew had a total brain fart.
And I didn't even add that. I wasn't even going to bring that. I wasn't even going to bring that up until
that's got to be the biggest brain fart that I've seen in a long time out of a top tier.
Does that guy get fired? Let's put it that way. Does the guy get fired for not replacing the sheet?
I'm sure he was at the North Carolina unemployment office Monday morning.
I don't know if he was in the unemployment office or he was going to be doing a lot of freaking paperwork for the next little while and not going to be touching the car. But anyway,
again, I'm going to tell you something. Again,
now I get a 39th place finish with a car that I guarantee Michael and I would have done shake and bake and would have probably been 1-2 in the race.
We need to ban teammates. We need to ban you picking teammates.
And I get screwed, and it was like, well, that's what I get. So, yeah.
Wreck
House Jr.
Aiden Young, get rid of man. We're not getting rid of super speedways. That is not going to happen.
They
Never.
Just because
too
you
much
can't
money.
race them on iRacing, don't mean we have to get rid of them.
Whoa.
It's getting saucy tonight.
I've been
Better watch
pissed
out,
since
Aiden.
Sunday, and I'm telling you, it's just.
Come on, Matt. Tell us how you really feel. Come on.
Oh,
Tell us how you really
damn.
feel.
So my opinion was, because we had the start of this conversation, I was like, "Hey, Willie wrecked my guy, took us out." I mean, he even clipped.
It's racing.
He even took out the quarter paddle on the race winner there too, and spun him out in that whole friggin' wreck. And I said that should be an automatic disqualification for Willie.
Yeah.
No, it don't work that way. Either way, I mean that we could go on days for that. We've got to touch on something pretty serious, and we got a video to show it, man. That I'm gonna tell you something. I don't cringe on wrecks very often, but this one right here, it made me cringe when I saw that, and I was watching the racing with my boy and my wife. I looked right at her. I'm like, he's hurt bad. Just seeing that, and Michael, you've got video on it. If you want to full screen that and play it.
All right.
The third spot. I don't think his car is as good as it was early in the race. He's got a good pusher now with Drew Dollar, his teammate. Watch his bump right here. Oh.
And I think what happened was the bumper wasn't lined up. And man, it still gets me cringe. And prayers to Derek and his family. You know, they're, you know, I mean,
Drew Dollar came through. He's got to get out of that race car.
And we don't know, but and Matt, you brought it up. The guy probably had to be knocked out when that happened, right?
That was the thing that got me, guys, because it was the same thing. I was watching it live too, and when I saw when they showed him coming down the backstretch and the whole right side was caved in like that and the thing was on fire, the first thing that went through my mind was, is that car is not slowing down like it should be if the guy was conscious. If Derek was conscious after that wreck, I mean, I am positive he would have been on the brakes trying to get that thing woed up, and it did not woe up until way down the straightaway, right?
Yeah,
and I mean, you look at that hit, then that is a
Michael, rewind that
vicious
real
hit.
quick. Michael, rewind it probably about 10 seconds. About right there. Hold up. There you go.
Yeah, this is
now. Pause it now. Rewind about 4 or 5 seconds.
Not even. Yeah, about there.
Pause it when he hits the wall.
Right there.
I mean, like you said, that right there is. You're not hitting like a straightaway where you're going up. He's full force right there, hitting that wall. Even a safer barrier buckle the front like that.
Well,
it just makes me cringe. These are old Cup cars.
Yeah. Well, when you look at the picture, you can actually see it here pretty good, guys. We all know how big because that's a Camry body, right? We all know how big about a headlight is on a Camry. Well, when you look at that photo, that whole headlight is gone.
Roll it.
That whole headlight area is gone, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to Eric McClure's race at Talladega, except it was on the driver's side when he hit the inside wall.
Yeah.
And got hurt.
He was knocked out, and because we've all seen the posts that Derek Lancaster's wife's been putting on Twitter and stuff like that, and I mean we're still all praying for him, guys, because I mean it was a bad
Michael,
deal.
do some research. Derek Lancaster's wreck at Kingsport. Christopher said look up that wreck. He had a similar one at Kingsport at his home track in Tennessee. Look up that one on YouTube. See if you can't get that one up.
Right. So, we all know, I mean, we're all praying for him and stuff, but it sounds like for the most part, from what I can hear from the injuries that they've talked about, all of his injuries are related to smoke and inhalation and fire burns, which tells me that he was probably not hurt when he hit the wall, but the problem is he got knocked out. And if you're knocked out, you're not pulling the fire suppression system, because we do know that the ARCA cars have a fire suppression system in the cockpit, but it is driver activated. And if the driver activated system is not working, and he's not pulling it, then you're going to get fire inside of the car. I mean, we talked about this before the show, boys. I mean, the Cup cars, from what we understand and what I understand about them, is that they have automatic suppression systems under the hood. They have an automatic suppression system and a driver activated system in the cockpit. And we still have the automatic suppression system, which the ARCA car does have in the fuel cell area. Listen, guys, this is 2021. If you're racing a national series that NASCAR is in control of, those things should have the automatic suppression systems under the hood, in the cockpit, and in the fuel cell area. So if something like that happens, at least those systems are trying to get activated and put the fire out.
Yep. All right, we got Chris in the green room. We're gonna bring him on.
I have it right when you're ready, Willie.
All right. Yeah, we'll let him stream, get caught up to him. We'll jump on to see. Jeb Burton picks up the rain shortened win at Dega, as you can see. Winner, right? Man, I'll tell you what, I was not watching that race. We went. Me and the wife went somewhere. I think we was going to Walmart. And if that's what I got to take for me to leave the house and go somewhere while the race is on, I'll do it every time. But the kid has earned it. And I don't care if it's rain shortened or not. He was leading at the right time. And kudos for him. The Burton family is stout. I mean, that team, that family, it's got to be up there with the Earnhardts in talent-wise. You got Harrison, you got Jeb, you got Ward, and you got Jeff. There ain't very much, family ties that is that big and that competitive. Jeb ain't driving a junk car. Harrison ain't driving a junk car. Ward didn't drive a junk car. Jeff didn't drive a junk car. They all was in winning equipment. And I was just so proud when I was listening. I wasn't listening to the race. I was listening to the driver to spotter because I like listening to Brett Griffin for some reason. His spotting just it does it for me. But there was time, and I will make this point. There's time that Brett Griffin was screaming at Jeb, "Get out of the draft! Get out of the draft!" Jeb won the race. It was like coming to the green white for the stage jam. And Brett Griffin come on there and he said, "Get out of the draft. It's not worth wrecking for no points." And Jeb come on there and he said, "I was trying to race." But for him to pick up that win was very momentum. Colic also announced they're going full-time in Cup racing in 2022. I'm not saying Jeb is going to be in that seat because I think that there'll be more qualified drivers to get in a seat. I think he still needs probably another year of full-time. I mean, if he lights the world on fire with 4 or 5 wins, I still don't think he's ready to go Cup racing, right? I think he still needs one full-time season. But with that being said, who do y'all think? I've heard names popped out. I mean, I've got tagged in something. Hey, Matty D would be great for that ride. In y'all mind, with the drivers that might be coming available, who do you think that could be in this ride in 2022?
It's tough to say because I know how Chris Rice and Matt Colic work with that team. And, my own belief is that I don't see them bringing in somebody out of the family, if that makes sense.
Right.
I strongly believe that they're probably going to either bring up Justin Haley or AJ Allmendinger is going to get another Cup ride. And I figure it's going to be one of those two. It's going to be the driver.
I'm with Matt.
I don't think AJ Allmendinger wants another full-time ride, like Cup Series ride, right?
I don't know because the way he talked after he won that race was Vegas. He won, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Chris is back. Let's see if we can't get him in here and stuff. We might not be able to get him in here because he's having technical issues. But we're gonna try one more time here. Hey, Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear us, Chris?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, man, I wanted to get
Can
you
you hear
on
me?
because you covered. Yes, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, I wanted to get you on because you went down and covered Bristol a little bit. Tell us about what the speeds you were seeing from the sprint cars.
I mean, it is unreal. I was standing down in 3 and 4 during hot. You couldn't. It's hard to keep up with them. In all honesty, as fast as they were going, I ain't never seen nothing that's that fast in my life.
Yeah. I didn't really see much footage from them. Was the sprint cars up towards the wall? Did they actually get that groove up there?
Towards the end of the feature on Friday night, they were about 3/4 of the way up, but most of the night they were down on the bottom. Once they cleaned off all the dust, they moved up. But it's a typical sprint car show on a half mile. Dirty air and just single lane racing, really.
So it really wasn't much passing once they got green flag.
Yeah, they well, I mean, what Haperteeth got to jump on gravel, but once gravel got around him, it was, the show was over at that time. And I think a lot of them were kind of a little weary about the speeds and racing with each other. So I think a lot of them were kind of taking it easy for the most part. I mean, it was, some guys made some moves. Donnie Schatz moved up a couple spots, and I think Schuhart was coming up until his wing broke. But, other than that, it was typical, half mile.
Yeah, them. Do you think that Bristol does it next year? Brings the sprint cars back? Do you think they'll bring the same field back, or you think people saw enough of the speeds wise that they don't want to flirt with that kind of speed?
I think they'll do it again next year. They announced the cup race, so I'm going to assume they're going to try to get every dollar they can out of it. So I believe that the sprint car, I just hope they keep it the same as like sprint cars and big blocks paired up, and then late models and the UMP mods paired up. Because for me, that's why I went, was to see the big blocks. I like the invitation because invitation only, because we all know there's some guys that probably shouldn't have been out there that should be out there. This proved guys is not as bad as what people thought it was going to be, and that if you race smart, you won't get into trouble. So hopefully, more guys will accept the invitation next year.
So I know you cover a lot of Middle Tennessee stuff because you work with Middle Tennessee Racing. So where are you at this weekend coming up covering? Because I know there's a bunch of racing. We got racing at Crossville, Clarksville. Where you got? Where you at this weekend?
I'm actually taking the weekend off this weekend. I got another daughter that I get every other weekend, and I get her this weekend, and I think we're going to actually do magnetic fishing this weekend. But I will be tuned into flow racing and catch whatever's on there. Next weekend we'll be at the Nashville Fairgrounds for the race.
Yeah, they got the ARCA race coming up. I think it's the ARCA and the Master Pros. That'll be interesting to watch because I think that the Master Pros will probably bring between 30 to 40 pros. What you think? That's probably a logistic number. You think? Pros. What you think? That's legit.
Well, next weekend is the ARCA E Series, and then uh, the Southern Super Series Super Late models, along with the first tour. So Super on a lap, and then more or less the local pro late models. The Master Pros is actually in June, and I think last year we had 42, 43 cars show up for it, and it turned out to be a pretty good show.
I got you. Well, man, appreciate you coming on, man. For sure, man. I love to got y'all's coverage that y'all got at Middle Tennessee. You know, if I can't get to the racetrack, I always tune in, try to see what y'all got going on and y'all's interviews and stuff. Well, I think we lost him. He was having some technical issues, but he saw he he went down and saw it. You know, I wasn't paying I think it was $40 to watch it on Flow,
Yeah.
and you know, don't think I wanted to watch it.
I thought
that
about
much.
it, but for one race, that's all I'm gonna watch.
I'm gonna get
worry
Dirt
about it.
Vision when the Hell Tour starts. Right? They ain't calling it the Hell Tour now, but I'm gonna get it when that comes on, because you're gonna see what I tell you. I think it was like 13 or 14 races in a 17-day window, and then you have another 13, 14 races in another 17-day window. But it's basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're gonna see races. Then they're gonna take off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they'll start up again Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it'd be for 8 weeks. They're gonna race 4 days out of the 7. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get it. And you brought up Mav Plus. I mean, I think it'd be kind of stupid not to get Mav Plus because of all the Lucas coverage that they get. I'm gonna get monthly and see what I can get with monthly, and then I'll probably upgrade to the $100 premium for the year. But man, I'm gonna tell you, all these streaming networks, they're gonna break me. They are.
Yeah, I can agree.
They're gonna break me. But with all the coverage that is out there these days, I love it. Like yesterday, I didn't watch very much of it, but I jumped on there and watched Flow Racing. They had the Delaware something 50. Stuart Friesen was running his big block modifieds. You know, I watched it maybe for an hour. Then I got tired of it and turned it off. You know, this weekend on Flow Racing, you got, and I was going to cover a little bit of regional. You got Ironman Tour, the Schaefer's Oil Ironman Tour for Crossfield. You got Clarksville on there. You got probably 12 races you can pick out of about 4 days. So, streaming's got great. I love it. But we'll jump on to it. I want to touch on this topic, and we kind of touched on it, but I want to touch on it again. The pack racing, are the speeds exceeding what we need to go? Do y'all think we need to slow them down to provide better racing and safer? Because I don't want to see nobody die from this racing. We already lost one guy to pack racing, and I really didn't expect that roll bar to buckle, right? Because that roll bar buckled like that scared me when I saw that. You know, and I'm not saying it scared me, but I think that, you know, seeing that car get airborne so easy, you know, I want to see everybody. I want to see them go fast. Don't get me wrong. I love the speed of it, but I think that we can tone it back 10, 15 mile an hour and keep it pack racing, because the package clearly ain't working.
But Willie, I don't know if that's going to help, because I think back to probably even back into the late 90s, early 2000s. They were running 190, 191, 192 average around Talladega, and they were still getting airborne and flipping. When you look at the Logano wreck, the one thing that bothered me about it is that he got sideways, and that car, the roof flaps and the hood flaps came up, and the car was planted on the ground. When it got airborne was after Stenhouse hit him when he was sideways. And it's almost like when Stenhouse hit him and got him sideways, it was almost like it jarred the car. And as soon as it did that, it got the right side skirt up off the ground. And as soon as that side skirt come up off the ground, then the car went over. I mean, I heard a couple guys this week in some interviews talk about it and stuff like that. And they have said, we have run so many packages when it comes to restrictor plate, super speedway racing. And no matter what we've done, they always get airborne.
Yeah. I mean, they're running 205 going in the corner at Texas or Michigan. I think it's Michigan. They run 205 going in there. I understand racing. You want to go fast as all get out, but sometimes fast is too fast. I mean, we shouldn't be going too. I mean, you saw the wreck that Michael McDowell had was it Texas? That was
in
vicious.
08. Yeah.
That was vicious. Now, they're hoping that this new car that comes out, the Gen 6, Gen 7, whatever you want to call it, it's going to have a better – it's going to be stiffer, but we've got to keep the cars on the ground. I don't want to see a car flip. And I was listening to Door Bumper Clear, and they was like – there was people calling in, oh, I'm glad that he flipped Joey Logano, And, man, that's just pathetic right there. I don't want to see a car flip,
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. I mean, all three of us agree we need to try to keep the cars on the ground as much as possible. But
that's never going to happen, though.
But let's be honest, guys. I mean, we just saw, and Michael shared the video, and I shared a video this morning on our group chat that the three of us have that we keep going during the week. A Legends race at a half-mile track. And guess what? The guy got upside down. It doesn't matter what form of racing we're going to be doing, boys. They're going to go over. We've seen Hornets go over. We've seen Superstocks go over when they're only doing 70 mile an hour. Unfortunately, rollovers are going to be part of the deal. And I just don't think you could slow them down 20 mile an hour. And if a guy got sideways on the back straightaway and the angle got right and the guy hit him, he's still going over.
Yeah.
I
understand, man. I hate seeing stuff like that. What happened to Derek, and then what happened to Joey? I know that's racing, but man, I tell you what, we've had some scary stuff here lately. This weekend was pretty scary. And I'm gonna tell you something. I saw something down in Nashville, that was scary. I sent y'all that pictures of that car that they had to cut the guy out. I never heard anything else about that, how the guy was or stuff like that, Then they had another wreck, the Legend wreck, that guy flipped. He hit the right there below the flag stand that's open, that should not be open. Close it off, and, the tire caught that and flipped over,
Yeah.
Luckily, that guy got out and walked away. But,
I think all three of us can agree. I just don't think there's anything we can do to stop the cars from going over. I mean, when I think about the Gen 6 car, okay, since we've had that car since 2013.
Right.
We've probably had one car a year go over.
Yep.
Right? We've had one car a year go over.
Last year was Ryan Newman last year, and then this year was Joey.
Right? We've had one car a year go over. It's not good to ever see a car go over. But you know what? I'm really happy to see that in all of those wrecks that the guys went over, nobody has died.
Yeah.
Newman got hurt. He got hurt pretty bad in his wreck. But you know what? Nobody's died, and the thing I like about it is NASCAR. Every time that a car's gone over, that car automatically goes back to the R&D center, and they're looking to see what helped, what happened,
Does
what
Penske really want that car to go back to R&D Center?
they automatically take her away. She's at the R&D center, and they're gonna be looking at it. I guarantee they do not like to see that how that roll bar on Logano's car collapsed.
He said on the radio. I reckon he said on the radio. They asked him, "Hey, you okay?" He said, "No, I got a roll bar in my head."
Yeah, they're not going to be happy to see how that roll bar come down. So
I think
chances
what
are,
made it come down is when he come down so viciously on it wasn't just a kind roll. He went up and then he come down. Gravity brought him down, but
you know, the one thing is that these cars now, I think just about all of them now are running roof hatches.
Yep.
And they've got that roof hatch built into the cup cars and stuff like that now.
You think that kind of?
I think the problem is that with the speeds that they're running and everything like that with the roll cage, they need to be having a bar that's running left to right across the car in that area to strengthen up that portion of the cage.
Yeah.
And the problem is that because they want to have that roof hatch to get the guys out of there, you can't put a bar in there, right?
Right.
So you know what? They got a ton of smart engineers, and I am almost positive that they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, if they can put a bar in to help it so that bar doesn't collapse in a collision like that again, they're going to do it.
Right.
I mean, they did a ton. I know for sure they added a bar and reinforced other areas on the roll cage after Newman's wreck at Daytona last year.
Yeah.
So,
well, Newman already had a bar in there they call it the Newman bar.
And that was when Kurt Busch landed on him in 2013 at Talladega. They had to put that bar in.
Was it Kurt Busch?
Yep. Kurt Busch went over and landed on
Austin
him.
Dillon.
No,
it was Austin Dillon that done that.
No, it was at Talladega, and he come up and landed on him, and then they put the extra bar in.
I got you. Before Christopher left, he wanted to jump on. You check him out at Middle Tennessee Racing. So if anybody's around Middle Tennessee, check them guys out at Middle Tennessee Racing News. I'm going to tell you, they cover a ton of sports. They're not at one place. They've got guys that go to different racetracks all over, and they cover all of Middle Tennessee. So be sure to check them out.
I got that wreck for y'all to watch if you want to see it.
Jumping on here. I want to see it because I heard them talk about it.
Wow.
It scares me just as bad as Lancaster's wreck did.
This is Lancaster.
Well, no, but I mean the Legends wreck, and if I don't know if Michael and I get that one up. That one was pretty scary too.
Are you ready?
All right, let's play it.
Oh.
It's pretty wild.
Look, I understand, and I hope nobody from Kingsport's watching. All right, because I'm not trying to bash nobody's track, right? But that right there does not need to be there. I understand you got to get to the middle of the racetrack, okay? But if I was an insurance company, I would require them to build a wall right there where it's flush, right? And I mean, even the track that we had here local, Beach Bend, right? We had 1, 2, 3 entrances. We had one half by 3/4 down the back straightaway. That was our pit exit. I saw a guy get loose and hit that head on, dead stop, bam. Then I didn't really see nobody really wreck coming off like where you come onto the racetrack, but there was a entrance in 1 and 2 that was for ambulances. Ambulances sit there, and I seen people. I reckon a guy named Bobby Johnson is kin to me. He moved that wall. He bet somebody, I bet I can move that wall. And I don't know if he had anything to drink, but by God, I reckon he did it. He drove into that wall and moved that wall.
Let's be honest, guys. Every racetrack that has
Has
ever
an
had a
opening.
gate has an opening, right?
Right.
Now, I would have thought that a lot of tracks would have learned something after Michael Waltrip's wreck at Bristol in 1990.
Or
How
how
they-
about the late
How'd they
model
learn
wreck that
anything when
happened at
Bristol put
Hagerstown?
it back in? Bristol put that gate back in.
Well, the gate's now at the entrance to turn 3. The one that Michael hit was at the exit of turn 2. Having a gate at the exit of turn 2 in any race now, having a gate and an exit like that in any racetrack is not smart.
So you thinking having that at the entrance might be okay?
You know
Because
what though? But
that was at the entrance right there.
but the thing is that you also look at Bristol's gate though, and it's not like that, right?
Yeah.
Bristol's gate does not have those jagged edges sticking out and everything like that can catch a car and
Theirs is
you
flush.
know, theirs is flush. You can't have jagged edges sticking out on an entry gate because if you got a jagged edge, I guarantee the car is going to find it. And that gate that Derek hit there in that wreck, that thing didn't look like it would have stopped much of anything from getting into it. You know, I mean, I remember somebody was talking about it because at the Bristol Dirt Nationals there in March, that gate, they were having to open and close it because they were having to let the cars in and out of the racetrack for the races, right?
Right.
Well, that gate, they had to open and close it with a winch because the gate was 4,600 pounds.
So they just try to make sure it don't open.
Right? That's a heavy gate if you're talking 4,600 pounds. You're not closing that and everything like that. I mean, I think of my local racetrack, and their entrance gate was right dead center in the middle of the backstretch. And it's still there now. They've actually got rid of the gate now because it's an opening now to get into the pit area. They've changed how things were worked out and everything like that. But that gate was just 5 pieces of Armco put together. And one person could open and close the gate. Right? Because
I wonder if NASCAR is gonna, or I wonder if Bristol's gonna actually leave that permanent there. You know, that actual gate, that little temporary gate there.
Well,
because they
whatever
had to
gate,
actually make that for the dirt because they could not. The gate that they had previously for the asphalt would not work with the dirt because the dirt was piled up.
I think that the gate that they've got for the dirt is a gate for the dirt. The gate that they have for the asphalt's going back in.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I can see that. Just not bad. Just hit the press is what 30 minutes ago, hour ago. All-star format and package. I don't think I have the package, but I have the format, and I'll pop it on here if you have not seen it. Here it is. Starting lineup will be random draw. That does not change. Round 1, 15 laps after this round, the field will be inverted starting anywhere from 8th to 12th. Excellent number, right? But to be selected by random draw. Round 2 is 15 laps again. Entire field inverted after this segment. Round 3 is 15 laps. Again, the field will be inverted anywhere from 8th to 12th to be selected by a random draw. Again, 15 laps. Round 5 is 30. This lineup will be determined by cumulative finish from the first 4 rounds with the best cumulative finish starting from the pole. All cars must enter pit road. And I love this part, and I'm glad they're bringing it back, but please bring back the pit road challenge. Please. But at least they're giving $100,000 for the best one-stop deal, right? And then round 6 is 10 laps, which I think it needs to be longer. 10 laps ain't long enough. Cars are being lined up according to their finish from the previous segment.
Here's what I would do. I would take, was that round 6 with the 100,000? I would make that the last segment. Instead of 30 laps, keep the 10 laps.
Well, it's going to the pit crews.
I know, but I'm saying flip-flop that.
But what he's saying is that, you know what, you could even make the last segment, instead of having that 10-lap shootout, make it a 40-lap segment. And the last segment has a mandatory pit stop in it.
I would keep it at 10 laps. Because that right there is going to tell you when the pit crews are going to shine.
Well, I
when
don't
you
think
got-
they're going unless they're allowed to pit. I think this is the only time they can pit.
Oh, I see what Michael's saying though. In the 10-lap shootout, you have to do
Yeah.
your mandatory stop in the 10 laps.
and keep that starting spot like they had it on the cumulative. It keeps from people playing games.
See, the only thing I don't know about it is I would like to see that say mandatory 4-tire green flag pit stop.
Is it not
See,
green? Okay.
the way I read it, it might be a green flag
I hope it's a green flag pit stop
because it says all
other-
cars must enter pit road for a mandatory 4-tire pit stop during this round.
So that's
And
what I'm
the
hoping is
fastest
it's going to
stop,
be.
yeah.
But if the caution comes out, is that their 4-tire pit stop? Like, to me, it needs to be a green flag pit stop.
Yeah. Must be
All of
green.
these laps will be green flag. They did make that clear. All these laps will be green flag. Caution flag will not count. But I'll say it again if people did not listen. Bring back the pit road challenge because one stop did not win that challenge. You had
No.
it was a bracket style, and each round you had to make a good stop, and you actually had to push the car to the checker flag.
Yeah. No, I loved it.
And I
when they had
love
the pit
that, man.
road.
I
Yeah,
love that.
was
Bring
awesome.
it back.
Are you talking like what they had there in the basketball arena?
Yes,
Yes.
in the arena. Yep.
Bring that. I mean, let these crew members shine. Give them a night by themselves and let these crew members shine. They work as hard as the drivers Monday through Friday training for this moment. And, and look, we've got some Jerry Klein, love the pit road challenge. I do too.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Everybody wants to bring stuff back or get away with commercials. I agree, get away with commercials, but they got to make $1 just like everybody else. But here's my thing: bring back the pit road challenge. Some big money company is going to say, put our name on it. That gives them one day to shine all by themselves. But I'm sure the COVID's got to do something to do with it. They'll blame it on something. But I still think it needs to come back. All-star deal. And I didn't have it on there, but what was it? They're gonna have a spacer, right? It's gonna be a spacer, just like the
motors are going to have the same spacer that they have for the super speedway races. So we're basically going to knock another 40 horsepower out of them.
But it's not gonna be like last. Was it last year? No, it was a year. AJ was in the 43 car. It ain't gonna be basically pack racing, right? You don't think it'd be pack racing like they had Charlotte, right?
You knock that much more horsepower out of them at Texas, they're going to be wide open all the way around.
I like that kind of racing on a 1.5 miles, but man, it caused a big pile up that one round.
That's what everybody wants to see at the All-Star races: pile ups and fights.
Pile up and fights.
I would have preferred them to go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see them give them 650 because from what I understand,
there's a let-off point, right?
Well,
there's a let-off point.
But from what I understand, though, the Gen 7 car, so the next gen car, I think from what I understand, they're shooting for a 650 horse motor, and it's going to be the same motor.
But it's not going to change.
But it's going to be I know, but Willie, what I'm saying is they're looking for a 650 package. So the motor in the Gen 7, and that it's just going to be a 650 horsepower. It doesn't matter what track we're going to, it's 650.
Gotcha. I agree. They need to do something.
And if they were thinking about experimenting with a 600 to 650 horse motor, perfect time to do it.
Yeah, but they picked a 510.
But they've gone to the 510, and I'm like, well, it makes me think back to.
So where do you think the speed would be? 180 maybe max?
It probably knocked 5-10 mile an hour out of them, but it's going to probably bring it back to you guys. Remember that All-Star race in 2018?
That was drafting.
They were drafting and stuff, but they put the actual plate on it, and they were only running about 4.25 to 450 horse. It's probably going to be closer to that.
Hey, the smaller teams love that because they have a chance, right? You don't have Kevin Harvick going out and dominating, stuff like that. So they have a chance, but I don't know.
They're
All right, we
going to
get to
end
the
up.
fun part of the day, the Kansas preview and our picks. With Matt being last again, when are you going to get out of the doghouse? I mean, come on.
When your freaking driver doesn't wreck mine, jackass.
With you being last, preview, who won this race last year? Was it had to be probably Hamlin or Harvick, I'd say.
Was Cole Custer, wasn't it? Or
No,
Nope.
Custer won
Custer
Kentucky.
won Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That track right there. Kentucky will never be on the schedule again.
Good.
Go ahead. Huh?
Good.
I never got to see it, but
You didn't miss nothing.
our governor just caused NASCAR to completely be done with Kentucky. Period. Drivers hated it. Everybody knew that, but it still brought fans, but we won't ever see it again. So Matt, you got first pick. Shoot it. Tell us
All
who
right.
you got.
So I am going with a driver that has won a race this year. He is out of the Hendrick Motorsports stable. And everybody on the stream is going, hell, he's going for his boy Byron. Wrong. I am actually going to pick Alex Bowman to win this weekend.
Alex Bowman. Got it. Alex Bowman.
He has run extremely well at Kansas the last few outings that they've been there. And I think with the momentum they got from Richmond, and they have been running well all year, just had some bad luck. I think they were running pretty decent at Vegas. So I think Bowman's going to take her home this weekend, I think.
I was going to go Denny Hamlin, but I've already used Denny Hamlin. So I can't use Denny Hamlin. But who do I want to go with? Somebody in the chat help me out here. Who's good at Kansas? Take me back.
I know a fella, but
he ain't gonna pick him over his dead body.
To win, I might. I don't know. Ooh. I like Justin Witt. I'm going with it. Kyle Larson, put him down, put it in the record books. We got rid of the guy that forgot to take the shield out. Kyle Larson for the win. Put it down, mark it down. Thank you, Justin Witt.
Man.
Appreciate it, man.
I love this being last.
Don't get used to it.
I am going to go with somebody I think is going to get it turned around this weekend.
Oh, God.
Kevin
Lord.
Harvick.
Come on.
Are you? Yeah. God, he must be drinking some of that.
You drinking that wiki again?
Yeah, he must be drinking that wiki again.
No,
Kevin Harvick.
Y'all seen the pre-race video? What I was doing? I wasn't drinking it. I was making it.
Look, I understand that everybody wants Kevin Harvick to win, but they've lost so much in downforce that it's going to take a lot to get it back. I understand if you see him running second, third, fourth, I have to agree with this comment. I'm not reading it out, but I agree with it 100%. And hey, let's bring that up. Hang on, let's bring that up. I don't have the video, but you know what? I wasn't going to touch on it. We're going to touch on it.
Oh, I was going to if you didn't.
Okay. Bubba Wallace. Hey, see if we can't find a video of that if people didn't watch it.
I'm sure it's easy to find.
No, it's easy to
Bubba
find.
Wallace turns down a interview pre-race. I didn't watch pre-race. I don't usually watch pre-race. But was it Michael? Was you sent it in the group chat?
Oh, I was livid when I seen it.
That made me boil. I mean, absolutely boil. For one, you do not turn down a interview. Ever. And I agree with you 100%. But and I'm not trying to get biased on it, But look, you do not ever turn down a sponsorship or a sponsor call out. If you have time and they want to talk to you, you take that interview. Michael, have you got it?
We're getting there.
All right.
I'm having to play to it.
But you don't turn down a interview to shout out your sponsors, especially when you're not running up front. Okay? I understand if you're Kevin Harvick and you get wrecked by your teammate and they try to stick a microphone in front of your face. I understand if you don't want to talk. 100%. Totally agree. Wrong time. Let
Y'all
me
ready?
cool off. Let's go. Share it. Here we go.
To the drivers as we kind of go down the starting lineup, and we'll start with the driver of the yes, but 23, the Bubba Wallace, 23-11. Now hasn't won a race yet
Here we go.
here, but he
They
has.
take the camera to his face.
He's led laps here before.
Yeah, Bubba, man.
Yeah,
You were
Kenny,
so strong in Daytona. How about it now? Talladega. This could be the day. He's focused. He's got the music playing.
I'm sorry.
question, Jeff.
But you just do not do that. I understand you're trying to get in the zone and you got your headphones on, you're beating to some music, but I'm going to tell you something. If I was DoorDash, if I was McDonald's, if I was something, I say, okay, we giving you a pass on this one, but that's it. I guarantee you Denny Hamlin was livid on that one. I think Denny Hamlin was livid after what moves that Bubba was making, because he had probably in my opinion, he had the fastest car at Talladega. And everybody was saying it on their spotter. Coming from the back to the front. But
number one, this ain't football. This isn't basketball. This isn't baseball. You don't get the opportunity to thank your supporters before and after a race, and sometimes during the race. So you need to take every opportunity you get to be thanking them, to paying your bills to allow you to be out there doing what you love to do. Because without all them names on that car, he is a nobody.
Well,
and that goes with any driver.
And I'll take it back. He's not going to he's not in victory lane. He don't get to thank his sponsors in victory lane. He's not a Brad Keselowski and gets to shout them out before the race and then after the race again after he wins. He's not got to that point. And the stuff that happened last year, it got people on the wrong side. The comments he made, okay? He was gradually winning his fans back over. But this right here, I even seen his fans come out and said, "What are you doing?" Right? He's got to go back and really get in a room and say, "What are you doing?" He is the only fully funded driver in NASCAR, fully funded, 100%. They're turning away sponsorship.
Yeah, you can't buy a spot on his car.
You can't buy a spot on his car at all. And that was before the season. It don't matter if, Valvoline comes and say, okay, we want to sponsor a car. There's not no more spots on the car.
Right.
And everybody's saying, oh, they're not going to win no races and Michael Jordan's going to kick him out. People, Michael Jordan's not going to kick him out if he's fully funded. Only fans he has is on the shelf at Walmart. I'm sorry. But Matt, you got to have a take on it, man. Come on.
Yeah. You know what? I do. And I also saw.
If Byron done that, what would you do?
Well, listen, I'm not happy about it. Let's just be honest. I was not happy about it when I saw it and everything like that, because at the end of the day, you should be taking a chance if you get an opportunity for an interview, and taking it. Now, Bubba got roasted on Twitter. I don't know if you boys saw that or not. But
did he get roasted by his peers or get roasted by fans?
He got roasted by fans, and he responded.
Well, I didn't see
this
that.
ought to be good.
He responded.
He's always got something smart ass to say.
So he had a Twitter, and you guys know they talk about now you have a Twitter thread, right? When you got a whole bunch to say, it starts to turn into a thread. And what ended up happening is that he basically has said that he is fighting depression. And the reason he turned down the interview is because he had his music on and he was trying to focus and get himself into a good headspace. And what he's saying is at the time that he was on, the interview came up and everything, he was listening to music because he wasn't in a good headspace. And because he wasn't in a good headspace, he didn't want to talk to the network.
I get it. Bubba's got a lot of pressure to perform.
Yeah, he does. And so
And he said it before the season. This is it. If this does not go well, he's not going to make it.
No. So you know what? I'm not happy because he didn't take the interview, but at the same time, I have suffered with depression myself as in the past, and I get where he's coming from. If that is something that's going on and stuff like that, and I get it, and I respect that, and so the big thing is that if his sponsors and everything are okay with it and stuff, then you know what? Let bygones be bygones. But
I don't think his sponsors
in the future, let's be honest. Where's his PR person? Where's the PR person that should be like, you know what, if he's going through that or whatever, you can see Fox at the camera and everything coming up to the car. The PR person should have stepped in and said, no, he's not doing an interview. Then doesn't even get to that point.
Yeah.
And I get that. I also get that anytime Bubba talks, he gets criticized. And when he doesn't, he gets criticized.
Yeah. And I got called out on Facebook saying he gets criticized for not opening his mouth. He gets criticized for opening his mouth. But again, I said, when you have a chance to thank your sponsors, you give a thank to them.
You better be doing it.
You better be doing it. And I don't agree. And I totally agree with that. I do, because, they're not getting the TV time that they should be.
For how well funded TV time. I mean, it don't matter if they run 39th, they're still going to get. He's going to get TV time because it's a story that everybody wants to succeed, right?
But you're only going to get 2 minutes in a 500-mile race versus if you're running up front, you're going to get an hour.
He's getting a reality show now too, so
yeah.
And I did. It just come to me. I think it's Rick Van Hurst. Hang on, let me get back this guy's name. Make sure I say it right. I said the guy's name on Facebook and where is that? Greg Van Alst is his name. He's from Indiana. That guy got wrecked out of ARCA race. Running for the lead, got wrecked out. They put a microphone in his face. Car destroyed. He said he thanked all of his sponsors, appreciate all the support, and he was having a blast to run up front. Mm-hmm. Right? And I put on there, that right there is called a true racer. Even though he got wrecked, he took his time, thanked all his sponsors that got him there, because that's probably a one race deal that he got him there that could tend that car. All the ARCA guys, if you're not in a Venturini car, you're not in a Joe Gibbs car, or I would say probably a Brett Holmes car, you're not running up front anywhere else besides Talladega. So, and Bubba needs to take a step back and really look at, okay, I'm not performing. I need to do more things to get my sponsors exposure, right? They're not doing driver appearances. Used to, I could see them being so overwhelmed with driver appearances. When I went to Daytona the first time, there was a schedule out. And I mean, you could go somewhere from 2 hours before the green flag to 30 minutes before the green flag. There was a driver appearance somewhere on that grounds. If it was at the Coca-Cola tent, or is it Barstool's tent, Army's tent, Chevrolet's tent, Toyota's tent, they had a driver somewhere. Merchandise trailers, their drivers are showing up signing autographs. So they had a bunch of appearances. All that's gone. COVID wiped it out. So their plate is pretty much empty. So take the time. Thank your sponsors. I think he did learn his lesson because of all the backlash he got. But, man, thank you, sponsors, because, like I said, we might get to a state where, this economy might crash. And guess what? A lot of these teams are going bye-bye because they won't have the funding to keep going. But we got out of that. That was our rant for the week. We'll go and call that Willie rant segment like we did last week with Jennifer Joe Cobb. Throwback schemes, man. My favorite part of the year is here. And I've only got 3, but we'll show them the 3 that I got picked. Of course, I had to have my boy in the middle, but hang on. Bear with me. Here we go. Glad we covered up that little Michael's head, too, while we're at it. All right. Got Denny Hamlin. Who drove that 18 car? I didn't catch.
Kelly Yarborough, probably.
Carol Yarborough.
Maybe? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's a pretty car. Even Denny that's a pretty car. I love what Jeb did. He went way back to Ward's days with the MBNA sponsorship. I thought he was going to maybe run the Caterpillar, but he's already run that somewhere. I saw it. Man, I don't know how I feel about Joey Logano's paint scheme, right? I mean, it's throwing back to Mario Andretti.
Ned Garrett is who that's supposed to be.
That one?
Yep.
Or the Denny Hamlin scheme?
The Denny Hamlin scheme.
Oh, okay.
Denny Hamlin.
Or Slick Johnson. Let me see which one you got. That one?
Yeah, the 18.
Slick Johnson.
And I wish I had more time. Guys, I was kind of rushing with the show prep, so I didn't have a lot of times. There's a bunch more out there that have been announced. You've got, let's see, Chase Elliott's going to run the Hooters paint scheme. Alan Quickie run. That car is beautiful.
Almirola's running Mark Martin.
Who is?
Almirola.
Is that back to the Folgers days or
Winn-Dixie?
Winn-Dixie days?
That'd be the Bush days, yeah. Winn-Dixie Bush days, yep.
Now I think Timmy Hills, he's coming back to Rusty's scheme, the 66 scheme. He's going back to that days. I forgot what sponsorship that was. Michael Nett, he's throwing back to, who's he throwing back to?
Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell Waltrip scheme. I'm going to tell you something. I think that I got to put this race on the bucket list to go to somewhere. One of these years I've got to go. That's got to be on my bucket list.
Boys, I've been there, done that. 2015 was the first year that they did the throwback. And I was at that race. And I'll tell you, I was pumped after that race. It was like they hit it out of the ballpark.
I hope they bring Ken Squire back for this race.
Squire's in bad health.
Yeah, I know. I wish he could come back.
I don't think he can. Dave Moody talks on his show that he's having trouble getting his energy up and stuff. It's gradually coming back, but he said there's no way, nowhere to see how long it take. COVID got him pretty good.
The thing I like about it is that, even I think about the 2015, the problem was when they announced it, the first throwback in 2015, it was already after all the sponsorship agreements and stuff had been signed for that year. So there were a lot of cars that actually did not have throwback schemes in 2015. Yeah. There were lots that did, but there was lots that didn't.
I think it needs to be mandatory.
And then it came to 2016, and just about everybody had a throwback scheme. And it was, I could see the potential of it and everything like that. The part that disappoints me is that when we have sponsors,
Martin Truex Jr., go ahead and throw him in out there.
Well, but I'm going to throw Suarez under this bus too, and Marcus Lemonis, because it's the first time that I was not super happy.
I didn't see that scheme.
Is They're running a Camping World throwback scheme, but it is a Camping World logo throwback scheme. It's got nothing to do with a paint scheme that's ever been run before in NASCAR. And the thing I like about throwback is that I like it when I can see the schemes that have been run in the past in NASCAR. And I don't like it when the sponsors decide to go and say, well, we're going to do a throwback to a logo that we ran 20 years ago.
Yeah.
No, that's not, to me, that's not a throwback.
Hey, if he wants to throw back to Camping World, I'm all for it. Because Camping World, it's still Bowling Green. I still call it Bowling Green based, even though it's nationwide.
Oh yeah,
the guy that created.
But I
was
like the
from Bowling
idea
Green,
of
so.
throwback being throwback paint schemes, and these are
I
schemes
don't
that
like-
we've run in the past.
I don't like drivers throwing it back to themselves 5 years ago.
No.
I think if
No.
you're going to do a throwback to yourself, you better be retiring, and it better be way down the pipe.
Now I'll take it back. I don't mind what Denny Hamlin did 2 years ago with throwback to his late model days. I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that.
Yeah, he didn't throw it back to a cup scheme, which was good.
No, he threw it back to his late model days.
But if I'm going to throw anybody under the bus, and I have no problem throwing this team and this driver, and I'll throw them.
Come on, throw that Penske driver out. Come on.
I ain't throwing a Penske driver under the bus, but I'm sure throwing Truex under the bus.
Yeah.
Because their throwback scheme is not a throwback scheme. All they said is, well, us and the boys in the team like to run matte black cars, so we're going to run a matte black paint with auto owners' logos on it. What the hell kind of a throwback is that?
He should have went with orange numbers if he's going to go back to the matte black days.
It's literally, it's just a matte black car with auto owners. I've seen the scheme. It's just a matte black car with auto owners logos on it. It's just like, that's not a throwback. I'm like, listen, don't call it a throwback if it ain't a throwback.
Yeah. I mean, I agree 100%. Trying to pull it up here. Give me a second. Let's see.
So far, when I'm looking at teams that have done throwback,
I'm gonna share my screen.
Hendrick has done a good job this year because I like Chase's. I really liked Bowman's, actually. That throwback to Greg Ives late model. That one was pretty cool. Byron's.
All right, y'all see it?
I'm not a huge fan of Byron's, but
y'all see the screen?
I
got my second screen. All right, there is Chase Elliott's. I love that scheme.
Yeah, that's a nice looking
car. Eric Almirola's. Hey, that's a pretty scheme. We like that one. Now, really, what throwback is that?
And again, M&M's doing a throwback. It's the sponsor doing a throwback. That's how M&M's used to look 20 or 30 years ago or something.
So is that supposed to be an Ernie Irvin's paint scheme, I guess?
Nope. It's strictly an M&M's throwback.
And there's the car that we're talking about.
That's the pathetic piece of junk that I said is not a throwback.
Yeah. I love that car right there. I like the number design, everything. That's a pretty car.
That one pulls at the heartstrings of a diehard 24th fan, boys. That, to me, does not look like a 24 throwback car, and that's just my own opinion.
Yeah. Greg Ives, that's pretty awesome right there. Ooh. I don't mind this one.
No, that one's nice too.
This is Xfinity car. You got Jeffrey Earnhardt, JD Motorsports. I think it's throwback. Is that when Dale Earnhardt run the 3?
Yeah.
Yep, that was the throwback to the Olympic 3. Yep. See, that's my favorite one so far, is that one.
Yeah,
I like that one. This one's nice too.
Yeah, Vargas going back to Mark
Martin's Valvoline scheme. Yep.
Look at there, Dale Earnhardt Tasmanian Devil, but with his own sponsor. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
That's Allgaier.
Allgaier. Exit out. There we go. Ooh. Is that the Dale Earnhardt
Yeah, that's Josh Berry. That's the
That's
throwback
supposed to be the baseball scheme, right?
That's the throwback to the 2001 baseball scheme he won at Daytona.
But he put him and
2001.
Mikey on the side.
Yeah, where they
Wow.
won at
Daytona.
Daytona in 01 when he won in Daytona.
Wow.
That one's pretty
That
cool.
was probably my best, I'd say. That's sharp. Of course, everybody know I love that one, man. That's just sharp looking car. Colic could have done a little bit better with that, but I think that's all Dale Jr. and Cook doing that. That's a throwback to the sponsor, not the car.
Yep.
Whoa. See, I'm just now
throwback.
looking at all this here. That's pretty sharp. Hot Wheels car, Kyle Petty.
Who's that? Who's driving it?
It'd be Brandon Kadovic.
Sorry.
Sam Hunt Racing. Let's see. Who else we got? Rich Bickle throwback.
Yep.
That's pretty sharp.
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
Yep.
See,
that's the funny part is that the Xfinity Series, in my opinion, has done a better job hitting it out of the park than the Cup Series.
Look at that. That right there.
That's a cool one, too.
That's a cool one. Jeremy Clemens, Dale Jr. or Dale Jarrett. That's the one I was talking about right here.
Yep.
That's the Rusty Wallace throwback. Let's see. Ryan Ellis throwbacks to his grandfather's Darlington scheme. I didn't know his grandfather raced, but that's still a sharp car. This is the truck one.
That's pretty cool. That's definitely old.
That's a throwback to Mark Martin's 1982 scheme that Larry McReynolds was a rookie crew chief that year.
That's awesome. So this is Derek Krause.
That's a throwback to Michael Waltrip's 2003 Napa scheme. That one I like. I like that one.
Lynn Woods 1957 scheme. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody go put a logo on that car. Come on. Like, really?
Too bad we don't make enough money off this podcast to put our logo right there.
That's what I'm saying.
No kidding. Wouldn't that look good on that car?
Man, that would look sharp on that truck. That one is nice. I like that. Davey Allison throwback. I don't know, boys. I think we're giving it to the Truck Series. I don't understand this.
I don't.
That's a throwback to Ricky Bobby.
I don't like that. Sorry. Ooh, Michael Waltrip. Yes. Is that the
That's the old Country Time.
Country Time car? Yeah, the one that
car.
Neil Bonnet ran it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one he got killed in, right? Is that the scheme?
They got killed in the pink and yellow one.
But it was Country Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got? Last one.
That's the old Ray Besta scheme.
And that's Timmy Hill. Man, I like that. I like that. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that one.
So there's some pretty good throwbacks, but like I said, Truex,
yeah,
unbelievable. That was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Then again, you guys all know Truex is about he's pretty much at the Logano level with me and in favoritism. So see, and I pick him to win. I went and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with Michael next week. I'm gonna pick him to win, and he ends up on his lid. Son of a gun.
That was fun. Michael, you want to give your take on your rain out Friday night? Baseball?
Man, it sucked. Got all the heat races in. Well, technically the last half of a heat race was ran in the rain, and the last one was ran in kind of a medium heavy shower.
Who was on the track at the time?
No, it was the front wheel drives and the cruisers. They got to go out there and race in the slick conditions, and I actually kind of liked it. I thought, man, this could be a really cool idea.
I remember one time we was at I was at my local track, and it just rained, right? Would the owner, somebody come up with the idea, hey, front-wheel drives already have treaded tires. Why not throw them out there in the damp track? What'd they do? They threw them out there in the damp track, dried the track off, but they was racing. And it wasn't just a regular rain, right? It was actual downpour, and it was slick, right? Asphalt's different than dirt, all right? Racing in the slick like you were talking about probably ruined the track.
Well, it was already dried slick. It was pretty much sealed off, so
Okay.
it was getting glassy.
It gets greasy. That's the best way I can describe it. Is
I remember one time.
I had to
one
race
time
on it
as,
once.
I remember one time I was watching a baby grand race. Everybody knew the rain was coming, and it wasn't a touring race, but it had a bunch of baby grands that night. And I'm like, this ain't good. This ain't good. That rain. I mean, we just kept seeing lightning in the background. Rain's coming. You remember that time that it rained in 1 and 2, but it was dry in 3 and 4 at Eldora?
Yeah.
All right. It happened down here at my local short track. It was raining cats and dogs in 3 and 4, and I seen about probably 12 to 15 baby grands just wad them up. And I'm running to get in the truck to leave, and all them, I don't know, I know we didn't stay to watch them clean it up, but a lot of cars got wrecked that night. And I don't know if it could have been prevented, but yeah, racing in the rain on asphalt is not a good idea with slicks. But, Daniel Hauser said y'all need to come to Spooker. What is Spooker?
2001 Winston.
The Spooker is a traditional thing that they've had at Tri-State Speedway. They have the Spooker and the Kegger. And I think Daniel's talking about the Kegger, not the Spooker, because the Kegger is always in the spring. Spooker's always on Halloween.
Okay.
But it's a pretty cool deal. I've been to the Spooker, I think, once or twice. Tri-State's kind of an old asphalt track turned to dirt. So it's got long straightaways and kind of semi-banked corners. Puts on a pretty good show there. So that if you're there at the Arkansas-Oklahoma state line and you're in that area, I'd go check it out.
Cool beans. Leave it to you, Michael. Talk about iRacing and what is next. Big Blocks is over. I think you cut that season a couple dates short.
Yeah, we cut it 2 races short. Aiden won the championship.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, I thought I had something for him, but when we only get 2 to 3 cars, it's just not any way possible for any of us to beat him. But he put on a heck of a season.
Congrats, Aiden.
Six
Yeah,
wins.
congratulations, Aiden. You won 6 of them. That's pretty good.
But what's
Matt
up
had
next?
to break his leg for you to win. We'll give it to you.
Yeah. But what's coming up next? We're going to start hosting some recruitment races on Sundays. We'll be back to the old Mid-South League page. I did thin the herd. We had, I think, at one point in time, 164 members of the league. We are now down to 27. A lot of people said they were going to show up, and they never did.
You didn't thin the herd. You took it down to just OGs, probably.
People I knew that would show up. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a Sunday night street stock league, fixed setup. It's going to be at 7 Central, and it's going to be a Lima Land Track Championship in the street stocks. It's going to be a 7-race season. And we'll see how that goes, and if we can keep a good steady car count, we may open it up to either another track championship somewhere else, or it'll be touring.
I like to see them add Lucas Oil to it. I think that is getting scanned, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
So, well, let's see if they hope that. Weekend preview of regional races. Michael, y'all just got local shows this week, right?
Yeah, all we got's local this week. Crowley's Ridge is opening up this weekend. I thought about going over there, but I don't know that I'm gonna go. I've got some stuff I need to get done this weekend here.
It's hard to go, and I was going to say it's hard to go to places when you can sit at home watch it on TV.
Yeah,
And that's I'm gonna be honest with you. And I told the wife about an hour ago. I'd love to go up to Florence, but again, that's 2.5 hour drive. When I could pay $7 to sit at home and watch it. Now
I don't mind.
and I
sitting
meant
at
to
home.
ask you on the Mav Plus, do they cover the other divisions, or they just cover the division that they're covering?
Now, when the races that I saw so far this year with them was Brownstown.
Yep.
They did show the modifieds there, which was their supporting class. They did show that. Now, for the rest of them, I don't know because I haven't been able to watch them because I was either gone somewhere or was doing something when I couldn't watch. But for the most part, I do believe that they are showing. And there's the hockey score.
So, Matt, let's tell us who scored a goal here.
That would be my hometown boys. The Edmonton Oilers are up 1-0 against Winnipeg.
But back to your traveling deal and watching it on the flow or whatever you got that you're watching it on. I don't mind traveling, an hour and a half to watch it live than watch
2.5 hours is where I'm talking about. I think it's a little bit too out of my range.
But West Memphis was kind of right there for me. I mean, I don't want to go any farther than 2 hours away.
Unless I'm paying you to come up here and watch a race with me, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but and Flow Racing's got Crossville on Friday night, got Clarksville on Saturday night. They have, different stuff on, there's. They're even got and I meant to tell you, they even got the door slammers that's happening in town here at Beach Bend, the Pro Mod drag strip. Flo's having it on this weekend. So it's pretty cool that I could sit at home or I can drive 15 minutes down the road and go watch it.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested in Flow Racing and getting it this weekend, we don't get paid for this advertisement. But for their schedule this weekend,
pop it up. Share it.
All right, hang on.
Daniel says in the comments, Kegger is this weekend, Saturday.
Yeah,
Kegger's this weekend. We'll be racing on dirt.
All right, here's what you get this weekend. You get the PDRA Door Slammer Derby. That's April 30th through May 1st. You get the Drag-A-Palooza at Texas. The Napa Auto Parts Spring Sizzler, the USAC Midgets at Kokomo. I may be tuned into that. Lucas Oil ASCS Sprint Cars at Williams Grove. They go on the Lernerville. Then you got the California IMCA Speed Week. That's a good one to watch. I watched a lot of that last year.
That'll be probably 70 modifieds in that one.
Yeah, and then you got the Spring Nationals at Crossville.
That's just Friday.
Yeah. Friday and Saturday, yeah.
No, that's just Friday.
That's just Friday?
That's just Friday.
Yeah.
Because Clarksville, they're showing Clarksville.
Yeah, that's right. Just Friday. And then Saturday you got the Door Day PDRA Door Slammer Derby.
That's the race at Beach Bend that's right down the road.
Kokomo, you got Fonda. I watched a little bit of Fonda some last week.
Yeah, I mean, Big Block's the only thing I kind of like watching there.
Fonda and Bridgeport are on there every week. Port Royal's on there every week as well.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm going to start going to, like, I'll probably try to make the Nashville race next week. Not Nashville, but I want to try to make Batesville next weekend. I know that I said Nashville, but I want to try to make Batesville next week. That's a 6-hour drive. Man, that's going to be a long haul if I do decide to do it. You know, but I mean, looking at, I mean, you looking at all these streaming services, and look at Mav Plus. You got Friday night at Ponderosa, and then Saturday at Florence.
Hey, speaking, this is not a Lucas Oil event for the comp cams. I wonder if you can catch it on Flow Racing. Let's just find
If
out.
it is, I'm staying home, boss. I ain't coming.
Well,
I'm just
keep
telling you
your
that now. Huh?
Bad Boy 98 will be on Friday, May 7th on Flow Racing.
And the 8th.
And it will be on Saturday as well.
See, I'll probably be staying home watching it then.
Yeah, you and Matt can watch it together.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest with you, that I want to see the topless in person, right?
Yeah,
But something that's 6.5 hours away, I really don't want to go all the way and watch it, that far, unless.
I'd love to have the option of it only being 6.5 hours away because I'd make the drive for sure.
Yeah. I
don't even got that luxury right now.
Yeah. And I was talking about you today to a guy at work. I was like, man, I feel sorry for a friend of mine. I mean, he's stuck in Canada, and he was talking about they work on printing machines. And he was like, look, we've got our vaccines, and we still can't get into the country. Mm-hmm. He said, we've got presses that we need to work on that's down, that they're not making any money because they're down. And he said one of our guys went to the border and they denied entry. Wouldn't even let them in there. Drove 12 hours from Dayton, Ohio to cross into Canada and wouldn't even let them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody know if Biden's speech is over? Because if so, then it's time for us to end it. No, we're wrapping up, guys. Man, it's been fun. We went longer than I need to. We'll get to the best and worst of the week, and then we'll close it out. Losers go first, so Matt, take it off, bud.
Loser. Okay. Best of the week. Probably.
You can start with the worst of the week.
Well, no, I got to start with best because I got so many worst. I have to think about which one it's going to be. Best of the week, really, boys, has to be the fact that we had some pretty scary wrecks at Talladega, and we still had drivers walking away. And, I understand, Derek's in the hospital and all the best to him, and I know he's going to make a recovery and everything like that, but at least we're around. At least he's still around, and that's probably the best of the week.
Hopefully he can help NASCAR explain, what he felt, and maybe they can work on a change to fix them race cars.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Worst of the week. God damn it, Willie. I don't know. Like, I got this piece of crap because of his stupid driver. I got Truex's pathetic excuse for a throwback paint scheme. And I got Aiden calling me out on super speedway racing. I don't know. I mean, it's just been tough. And then, unfortunately, I had to put my little fur buddy down on Saturday to boot. So I had a lot of worst of the week. So
yeah, that was pretty bad when you told us that. I hate that.
Yeah, he was an old dog. He was
put
good.
Michael down than your fur buddy, but
So, you know what? There were a lot of worse, but you know what? I always like it when I can see guys walk away. And you know what? With another best of the week, my boy William tore up race car, still got a second place finish. Thank you very much.
All right, my best of the week's got to be to the winner, the Jeb Burton machine, the number 10 LS tractor, Nutrient Solution Ag Center, whatever you want to call it. Number 10 machine got first. Thank you to Brett Griffin for spotting to him. He didn't have Ricky Stenhouse as spotter because Lord knows what happened if we had Ricky Stenhouse as spotter. My worst of the week. Sorry, Bubba, you're still getting it. Your worst of the week. Take the damn interview when you get the interview, because you never know when you're not going to get the interview. I'm going to tell you, him turning down an interview probably cost him the next 5 interviews, because they probably won't go to him anymore for a while.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
that's my best. That's my worst. Michael, it's your turn.
Well, my best is obviously behind me, Brad Keselowski.
Yep, that's
Yeah. It's still painful. I mean, I know we shaked and baked and baked one, but damn,
pick a
that's
new one,
still-
Michael, because that one ain't gonna work.
But my worst of the week is 2 of them, Bubba and Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin for crying that Bubba wasn't a team player. When have I ever seen Denny Hamlin be a team player?
Yeah.
Bubba was on the lead lap, trying to lead the race. Denny's fighting to get his lap back and in the way, and ended up getting wrecked anyway.
Wait a second. So Danny blamed Bubba for that?
I don't know that he's blamed Bubba for it, but said he was making the same, more or less stupid moves that he was making at Daytona.
Oh,
the only one
But
making
Denny,
stupid.
Bubba can't pull over and let Denny pass because there's still a guy in second.
Well,
that
only
that
one I've
reminds
seen.
me. I got one more worst of the week. I'll talk to you about it after. So,
But Denny's the one that made all the mistakes in the race, speeding
Yeah.
on pit road twice.
Oh,
I
I
mean-
forgot to mention that. How do you speed on pit road? You get caught the first time. Okay, the first time, honest mistake. You could tell he locked up the back tires. I don't know if he didn't get the brakes hot enough, because speedway brakes, you have to get them hot, right? You got to drag them before you use them, because they're so far away from the.
There was a few drivers that got hit twice
Yep.
after they got their speed penalty. I think Ryan Newman got it.
Like, is that the brake package you think that may cause that, or?
well, you know what though?
I
The
don't
guys
know.
are trying to get everything they can get into pit road, right? I mean, they're coming in there as hot as they possibly can, and you know what? I think they just jumped the, and then I think the reason they got caught the second time is because you know what? Now they're pissed off.
Look, if y'all doing multiple worst of the week, look, I gotta put your background's gotta go. Look, I should have kicked you off the show by now having that background. And
No,
I thought
my
I was,
other worst
I
of the
was
week actually
co-owner of
goes
this
to
thing.
my worst of the week actually should have gone to Fox Sports for the post-race interviews after Talladega. You interviewed first, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. What the hell happened to second?
maybe
Man, they're running
William
backwards.
Byron Byron done his MRN
I
interview
don't
and
know,
then
but it's like,
bounced.
what the hell? Like, why wouldn't you interview second place? I was a little torqued about that because it was like, damn, my guy had a tore up race car and still managed to finish second.
What would you want him to hear? What was you wanting to hear from?
Oh, and
from
by the way,
William Byron? We had a wrecked race car, and I still be able to draft to second.
8 top 10 finishes in a row. Thank you very much.
But didn't he get there because they wrecked in front of him?
I don't know. I don't give a rat's
Hey,
ass.
look,
Hey,
I honestly thought that Michael McDowell was about to pull another rabbit out of his ass, rabbit out of the hat.
I would have been
And-
okay with that too.
You know what?
He was coming.
Michael McDowell would have won that race
Who bailed
if
from
he
him?
wouldn't have, if he
Somebody
wouldn't have
bailed.
pulled out. Well, he bailed off of Byron, and I think if Mike McDowell stays with Byron, McDowell would have won that race because I think Byron said his car could not lead. It could push, but it
Yeah,
couldn't
Byron
lead because of the
Byron
damage.
was pushing. He was 100% pushing somebody.
And I think if he would have stuck on his bumper instead of trying to pull out when he did, I figure he probably would have
Look.
won that race.
Look, I feel sorry for Eric Jones. He was up there all race long.
Yeah, that was bad. I felt bad about that too. He had a good car.
Matty D was up there, and Blaney bailed out of him. What a teammate that was, right? Penske car just whoop. I ain't helping you to win. We're not getting 100th win with you.
Well, and Chastain at the end of the race shortened his Camaro up from a Camaro to a Spark. So
You know, and they're trying to blame the. I don't know. I didn't get to see the Eric Jones wreck, but I know Kaz Regalo. He was coming from 15th, and he was splitting. He was splitting them two. He was splitting Chastain and Eric Jones, and all I saw was Eric Jones bouncing off his right side. I'm like, where is he going? Bow, there he went. But that was a wild ending.
Yeah,
You know, green, white, checkered. Look, man, every plate race is going to be a green, white, checkered, right? And if you ain't heard Door Bumper Clear, they said it perfect. The laps that them guys ride against the wall, take them out. All them guys are doing, riding up against the wall, is telling you, look here, the race is too long. We're not going anywhere. You take them laps out, make the race shorter and stuff, and then bring all three series need to be at every track. Cup race need to have 36 events. Truck race need to have 36 events. And the Xfinity race need to have 36 events. That solves your problem. If you're not going to have practice, you're not going to have qualifying, bring back all three series.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go and have a hour and a half truck race, a 2.5 hour Xfinity race, and then a 4 hour Cup race, people get tired of racing pretty quick. But if you have about an hour and a half long truck race, about a 2 hour long Xfinity race, and about a 2.5 hour long Cup race, I think that satisfies your weekend. But having a 4 hour race, man, I don't watch the race from green flag to checker flag. I can't do it. Because especially at Daytona, or Daytona and Talladega, because they get up against the wall and they just ride. When they get single filed, you hear them spotters, hey, we're just riding here. We're just riding. Just stay in line.
You know what? When it comes to the restrictor plate races, as far as I'm concerned, Talladega and the summer Daytona could be shortened up.
Yeah, I would touch Daytona 500.
The 500, you can't touch the 500.
No.
You can't.
Because everybody's itching to come back to racing right now.
You know, that's a crown jewel race. That's been around forever. I do not want, I don't want to see them screw around with that. I mean, we've already lost, in my opinion, we've lost a crown jewel race already this year.
Brickyard.
The Brickyard. We lost the Brickyard 400. And that was sad to see. But, I don't want to see, the only races that need to be 500 miles or more, Daytona 500, Coca-Cola 600, Southern 500, and then that fourth one hopefully would have been the Brickyard 400. I would have been like, do not touch any of those four. The rest of them, whatever the hell you want to do, I'm game.
So the Southern 500, the same thing as a Cracker 500, right? A Firecracker 500.
The Southern 500 is the Labor Day race at Darlington.
So the Firecracker 500 was
the Firecracker 400 was a Daytona.
Yeah.
That was Daytona. And that race I would have loved to have seen, and I still would like to see NASCAR do this. They used to run that race at Daytona on July 4th, no matter what day of the week it fell, and it started at 10 in the morning.
Nobody worked. Nobody was working that day. Why not?
But the thing was, is they said if they started the race at 10 in the morning, they didn't ever have the weather issues because they didn't get thunderstorms in the afternoon because it was usually done by then.
Every time I went to Daytona, every day is going to have a thunder shower.
Yeah.
Every day.
And I'd like to see them bring that back. Run it on July 4th.
Same thing with
10 o'clock.
Coke 600. Same thing with Coke 600. Have it on Memorial Day, whatever Monday it lays on. It needs to be a Memorial Day race.
Yeah. I'd love to see them do that. I think that would be pretty cool to bring that back.
Well, they moved the race from the 4th of July to the August because they wanted it in the playoffs and that the weather always got an issue. Yeah. Right? And same thing with the cup race at Talladega. The Xfinity race, they started it at like 4 o'clock.
Too late in the day.
You had one rain shower, it's over, done.
Yeah.
0%, you're getting that in.
Yeah.
One rain shower, you're done. Go on, schedule it for whatever day you want to do it.
Yeah.
The track that does not have lights, it needs to have it needs to have an 11 a.m. start time no matter what.
Yeah,
11 a.m.
I agree.
So, but guys, we're running long. We need to wrap it up. Michael, anything you want to say before you get off here?
Yeah, before we go, we need to congratulate Jeremy Klein on his NASCAR fantasy victory this week.
Texted me as soon as he won. He's like, "Hey, I won." I'm like, "Yeah, I threw a throwaway race in."
And also, before we go, folks, if you'd like to have some advertisement on the show, hit us up. We'd love to get some business partners involved in this. And that's all I got.
Matt,
Well, we're up to about 75 to 80% weight bearing on this broken ankle already now. Physiotherapy started, so should be probably getting back to the iRacing here pretty quick, and need to put Mr. Bush back in his place. I see after tonight's show.
I think what I want to have set up, Michael, is you stream some of the league races either from your view or somebody's view on the Mid-South page. Maybe do some of that. Maybe we have a Mid-South league night that we race, and that'll be something we can stream to the Facebook page. Also, my plans is I bought a stabilizer to capture footage. I took it to Nashville. I never could get it set up. It's a little tricky to set up. It's over at cousin's house. I need to go over and get it. Just ain't had time. Busy week for me. Also, I'm going to be experimenting a little bit this week with converting the episodes that I can, because they don't say very much on here. I'm going to start converting the episodes into audio podcasts. And it's probably going to take me a little bit to get used to it. A lot of editing to it and stuff. But I'm going to start converting it where y'all can listen to the podcast. We're still going to do the video version. But I think what we're going to do is, because I'm going to start going to 12-hour shifts. So I don't think we're going to have a set schedule. It's going to come out. I think what we're going to do is have a set day it's going to come out. So my plan is to shoot it on a Monday or Tuesday, take the audio file, and then put it on, iTunes, Spotify, places like that, where y'all can listen to it on the go while you're driving to work or something like that. We can get a lot more guests on, because basically what we can do is pop on, hit a guest up, do the quick interview, and be done. We ain't got to do the whole show in one day. We can do, 2 or 3 interviews, and then I can put it all together. So it's going to take a little time. Bear with us. Plan is 7 o'clock next week. After next week, we'll be starting to do that. I think after starting next week, we'll do that. No, when's the Bad Boy? Next week? Next Saturday?
Week, yep.
So the week after Bad Boy, we're going to have one more live show. And then I think we're going to convert. Then we'll start converting them over to the audio versions, because I want to get your take on the Bad Boy. Long shot. We'll end with this long shot. Who do you think wins the Bad Boy 98? Long shot. With it being comp, I don't seeing too many Lucas guys coming down.
Man, it's going to be tough to beat Logan Martin.
Logan Martin. What are you thinking about? Old Baggett getting his win. You think he can snag a win?
Neil will be up there. Neil will be up there. The Rickmans will be up there. Man,
Logan struggled the other day when he went to West Memphis.
He did. He got in a little trouble, but if Mason Oberkramer comes down here from Missouri, man, that's another good one. Peyton Looney's a good one.
And start reaching out some of these guys. I want to get a couple guys on prepping for that week next week. I want to get their thoughts of what it's going to take to win that 98 lap race. I mean, that's a long time.
No, it's not. It's not going to be 98 laps. The Friday night's feature is going to be 30.
The next one's
Saturday-
going to be
68.
Saturday 68.
Saturday 68. Man, that's going to be.
Oh, well, Josh says we all need new NASCAR drivers.
Need new NASCAR drivers. Well,
For me, it would take Penske getting rid of the drivers they currently have.
yeah, I don't know, Josh.
I am Penske through
Look.
and through.
My NASCAR driver ain't made it up to NASCAR because he's behind me. So I don't know where. Now, yeah, Byron, I can live with, but none of the Penske guys I can't live with. I'm sorry, get rid of the Penske. If Roger Penske says I'm done with NASCAR, I'd probably start jumping up for joy. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Oh no.
I'm done.
You got to put that up, Willie. Oh,
I don't even know if I
dear.
want to. Kyle Busch.
Oh, well,
Oh,
you hit the rough crowd on this one.
man.
I'll say Kyle has gotten better.
What? All right,
Yeah.
Kyle Busch. What do he's got to be watching. What do you think about the throwback? We got to do the throwback. Somebody call Joe Gibbs and tell him that is not a throwback. We need a throwback scheme, not a throwback sponsor scheme.
Yeah. Kyle's gotten better over the years, but I mean, he's better
I'm
than a
waiting for
Logano
Braxton
or
to get big enough.
he's still better than a Logano or Keselowski.
Hey,
so
we
I'll
have to
give you
give
that.
look. We have to give props, and we said it in the group chat to Ty Gibbs. Okay, he got wrecked. We all thought, okay, here it comes. It's going to be a hell of an interview.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Well, I remember
And
that.
Ty
Yep.
Gibbs did an awesome job. Grandpa must have gotten his ear. Grandpa probably sent him to media school or something, but that was a great interview. I was expecting to like, well, we reckon with this person, we reckon with this person, these plate races are junk. Oh my God.
Josh would have never liked me in the days of Jimmy Johnson.
No, Josh would have never
Ooh.
liked Michael. Ooh,
I mean,
boy.
may not like me now, but those days I used to bash Jimmy Johnson.
Oh Lord.
Well, I stirred up a lot of shit back in the day with Jimmy Johnson.
I'm gonna have to kick him off saying Larson's overrated. He's got to win. He's got to win before Kyle Busch has got this year.
When it comes to Jimmy Johnson and Michael followed a page that every single week that Jimmy Johnson lost,
he still follows it.
No, they took it down.
They took it down, but every single week here was another photo. Jimmy Johnson lost again.
Look,
Johnson
he's
lost
still
again.
on it. 7-time champ.
Well, he is.
Yeah. How many of those was in the current format? How many was in the current? They changed the chase because of Jimmy Johnson. Right? We won't never see somebody win 7 championships ever again.
Well,
ever.
See, and I could I could really stir her hornet's nest up because the only other true 7-time champion would be the original driver of the number 24, Mr. Jeff Gordon.
Josh, when's your next race, man? Shoot out your next race.
And it sucked they got rained out Saturday.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah.
I know he's looking forward to it, man.
I honestly thought Saturday morning we was going to be able to get it in, but man, it come a heck of a rain Friday night.
It rained everything out this around me within 5 hours. It rained everything out. Weather has not been good to us this year. May 15, Riverside.
Ooh.
How close are you from Riverside?
2 hours.
Is that West Memphis?
Yep.
There you go. We are sending Michael. Oh, he went to the mag on Saturday.
May 15th.
I think we're going to send you to on report day. 20 minutes.
There you go. All righty, boys.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. Been fun. But I'm going to bed. Guys,
We'll-
next week, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Well, hopefully the three of us aren't trying to strangle one another because there was another wreck this weekend at the Kansas.
Michael, who you got? Who you got again? Harvick. Matt's got
Bowman.
and I got
Larson.
Yeah. Hey, I got Larson. Hey, wait a second. Had 21 cars, 5th in practice, and ran 9th in a feature. Hey,
Nice job.
hell of a job, man.
Way
Hell of a
to
job.
go, buddy.
So, all right, guys, we're out.
See ya.
See ya.
Have a good one, boys.